Good evening. Welcome to our industry-based project. Today we'll be discussing what so far we've done with our industry-based client. In our group, we have Ethan, Thomas, and Bailey. Our client name is Chris White. He's from Inspired Softwares, and our project supervisor is Shabadi.
To give just a basic project description, this project is to be a stock trading report system which will extract information and store the information, which in essence, this means any sort of stock trade report that is designated from a client, it will then be taken and allocated to that client specifically, generally attached to some sort of client ID. As stated before, this is generally taken from an email, which again is distributed via the company. And this information will then, of course, be able to be relayed at a later date in a medium which can be viewed to the user.
To create a system, our client has wanted us to create a system that connects to an email server. This means that we have a system that can read files and dynamically extract the information from these servers from data and client information. The store of the information are extracted from a further usage in a format that is easily extractable through different libraries. Extracting data from information, one of our research questions that we started off with is extracting information from an email. This means that we're getting data sent from the client and we extract it from an email and then it goes straight to the server. Another research question is translating document formats for Python. This is either PDF to docs or document into the server. These are different types of translating documents for formats in Python. And then lastly, we use tools and softwares for dynamic data extraction. This can be used in different types of softwares such as Pandas as a library, Beauty Soap, or LXML.
Yeah, so our project design overview is basically a step-by-step process of how our software is going to run. So the user gets an email, like a document email to our program, which is given by a generated email from the company. And basically they'll place this into their stock trading software where they will download, the program will download and store the information on a secure server on site, preferably in a folder where all the client's details is kept so they can be systematically returned back and used again. When the file is downloaded, it'll be identifying the file type and then converting the data to a readable format, probably TXT for Python, which is what our libraries will be using. And then it'll view the file and extract the data out of it. And then placing the information in a raw data format to be used for report writing in a later date. So with the information that's going to be translated, it's going to be these original confirmation slips that have been sent to our server. And then basically these PDF or Word document slips will then be translated into a raw data format such as SQL or Excel. And this is for easy information to be created into reports later on.
Now, the way the email notification system is going to work is that when a user subscribes to our service, they will have to input two emails. Their personal email, which will be their primary email, and a secondary email that is generated by us. For example, Bailey456@inspiredsoftware.com. This secondary email on the trading website will sorry.
Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, so the secondary email will be placed on the trading website.
The secondary email will be placed on the trading website so that information will be directed to this email address as well as their own. So that when the email is sent to our service, it will ping the servers and the customer's information and it will be sent back to the server.
So when the file is downloaded, as iterated before, When it's successful download of the email, the program will then have the knowledge of the file type to be translated. And the system will run one of the connected modules that we have loaded onto our program to be able to change it into a readable format for Python. And then we'll be using PDF to text and docx to text as well. So on the next slide, we have a preliminary code that we've written with placeholder information about the downloaded file and the cluster number, which will be taken from the email to be written, and then the file location to be saved for the client's information as well. And then after the file has been downloaded, the program will then check the extension and then run one of the corresponding modules due to the extension that it was been found.
Search methods in Python. In this section, we'll be using pandas as a Python library for extracting data from our servers of people's subscription service information into an Excel document where it can be stored. This also works the other way around, where the data of all the customers' details and buying and selling of stock prices details are stored on an Excel document. Pandas will be used here to be able to extract data from an Excel document to the server where all the information will be stored. Python will also be extracting data and helping us extract with different kind of codes and more information into different sections of the coding script. Pandas also will be able to be used for data manipulation, data analysis, and access us and allow us to transmit data more easily and more reliable.
The design approach for the storage and retrieval was the first, as mentioned beforehand. The storage of the information will be on-site server where the program will be able to run and store information at the same place. So essentially what this means is that all data relating to one user will be stored in one given location. It's not spread across in a very complex and hybrid manner. It is designed to follow a rhythmical sort of systematic approach where everything correlating to one user is stored in one location. As mentioned in this middle section, each client's information will be saved in their own personal space, holding all of their downloaded files that were translated and files containing the translated information. So they will generally be outlined by a key ID and key details that will essentially identify who the user is. And by doing this, this means that the system can follow, as I said previously, a set of rules in which the data will be accumulated and then stored based on the email and the information that was sent. And the data will be stored for a period of time, which is generally based on the client's specific purpose.
To conclude the presentation, I hope it was very informative about what we as a group are designing at the moment and what is to come for our group. Our group will continually work on designing our subscription-based stock training service further. Python will be our main coding software that will be used in the project until further date, where we can start to implement other softwares into the project. Thank you for listening to our project description and what's to come in our project, and have a nice day.